the great Gatsby was known for throwing lavish parties in his ostentatious mansion back in West Egg. Why do I bring up the great Gatsby? This book was written in 1925. It's 2016. But there are a lot of similarities between the great Gatsby and Triple G Gennady Golovkin. And I will get into that right now. But for those who do not know me, before I begin, I must introduce myself. My name is Eric Bradley. They call me the Real Fight Doctor. And there is no other on this level. Now, back to the story at hand. And there will be several topics because this young man brings interesting conversation. Like I said, the great Gatsby was almost slightly gothic with a pop feel and a hip-hop swag. One good thing about the great Gatsby, wherever he was, the party would follow. And it would be an illustrious party. Best believe you needed to be there if it was jumping off. And that's the same air that Triple G Gennady Golovkin has shown with his ring cachet. The endorsements by Apple. And from the last time I checked, it was the #1 stock investment on the planet. Then you have Michael Jordan endorsing. And Michael Jordan does not endorse anyone. When you get the Michael Jordan endorsement, well, Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather can speak to this. These things are not taken lightly. He's a serious businessman, and so is the great Gatsby. But he was known for doing, or he was suspected of doing, underground dealings in the underworld. And some of us are confused on what's going on in the likes of Gennady Golovkin or his management team. They can't figure it out. It's like he's swooping through the night and he's overtaking the game without even fighting real elite fighters. He's boosting his sales with that mantra of a monster without even fighting a top 5 fighter. That's the great Gatsby-esque. He almost does not exist in our modern day world. He's almost a Gotham story. He's Batman. But this is a unique thing about marketing and promoting your fighter. When you have something special, you can utilize that, and you can't hate the player. Just switch your game up. Because those guys understand the likes of the sport of boxing. They are shrewd businessmen. And they are doing this thing tic-tac-toe. They will cash in. And you cannot hate it. Gennady Golovkin is an absolute monster. When he's fighting the guys that he's fighting, those guys stand no chance. It's almost like, I think Max Kellerman said it best. It's almost like the first round of the NBA playoffs. You already know who's going to win. The best team's going to win the first round 10 times out of 10. But it's the interesting component that Triple G Gennady Golovkin, aka the Great Gatsby, he brings to the table. Because he does have a defensive prowess that's elevating. He gets to a point where his bravado takes over in the ring. He puts his hands down. He takes clean shots to the beard. When you're in the sport of boxing, I've seen that happen twice. Nate Campbell did it, got knocked out. Winky Wright did it to Sugar Shane Mosley. He went to the corner drunk. The thing about this is you know who you can allow to do that. He felt his power, he tasted it. This is not about the fight. This is about this modern day great Gatsby in Triple G Gennady Golovkin. He is no fearful fighter, but he did put himself on the record saying he did not think he was ready for the Andre Ward fight a year ago. But he's also building up his business brand, and he can make it a mega fight if it continues on. No, it'll probably won't be at 164 or 168, but 3 or 4 years down the road, and yes, it will be that, because Andre Ward has to go on to bigger and better things. Both of them may will see a loss before they fight, because their stock will have dropped. And in the sport, in the business side of boxing, people don't want to hear that. But this thing isn't about the fans. The boxers are trying to get to that Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather level, that box office attraction level that will supersede all of the records that were broken. They want to elevate and escalate. Everyone wants that. You want it. You seeing somebody right now in your eyesight that you are chasing. And if you don't have someone you're chasing, then you need to slide out of the game. Because right now, this game's for lions only. And everybody else will be eaten. So think on that. But my man Gennady Golovkin and his management team, they're doing things. They're putting things in the high-end sight. And the dynamics of what they're doing. I'm going to get into this. There was a company years ago in the 80s. They had an opportunity. No, it was in the late 70s. They had an opportunity to buy into this technology. And this company is named Xerox. They were so focused on the processor, which is what you use now on your computer, because it's basically the computer. They were so interested in the processor, and I'm making this analogy specifically for you, that when the technology came for the point and click device, they said that would never work. Well, let's see how this dynamic's going to play out. That thing they put in the vault and sold it off to Microsoft. It's called the mouse. Interesting dynamic, eh? It's the exact same thing that I'm trying to prove. Sometimes you have something going and it's a beautiful thing and you don't even see it coming. And when it comes, it's like an equator. The volcano erupts and it just destroys anything in its path. The point and click is still today one of the most important elements to our computer. But Xerox couldn't see the big picture. And a lot of boxing fans today can't see the big picture. They want the super fights now. But they're not super fights now when it comes down to the economic thrash of things. Because you have to get, not the boxing diehard fans, the reason that Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao did so well at the box office is because none of those people were boxing fans. They were golfers. They were tennis players. They were movie stars. They were senators ordering the pay-per-view. No one in that arena was from the boxing world besides the reporters. And the majority of them come from all walks of the globe. They just had an illustrious following. And that's who was able to get into that fight. And that's the exact same thing that you guys got to start understanding about whenever these negotiations are going down. There's those guys sitting up in those offices in those suits trying to make billions flip. That's the game that we are a part of. And the fact that you have the great Gatsby flourishing and coming out the front of the scene. Brash endorsements. He has the flash, The fans are building. See the big story. See the big picture. He's not even fighting top fighters, and the cachet's growing. Continue to think like a businessman, and you'll understand the map that they're using. We only assume that you know, but I've been in this world of boxing on a high level going back, but be sure to not overlook the necessary evils that are going on directly up under you. Triple G is not a fighter. Triple G is a brand. And the brand is the great Gatsby Golovkin. And they thought it was boxing. This is business. They called me the fight doctor. And I thank you guys for watching.
Stopping session.
Because you're watching Master Boxing. And this is where we break the fight world down. Round by round. Shouts out to my boys at IOTBA Boxing Talk. They streamed the fight last night. I was in a position I couldn't watch it, and they streamed it. My boys, much love. I told you I'd give you a shout out. Continue doing what you do. I'm supporting you 100. We are boxing. Shouts out and congratulations to the great Gatsby Golovkin. Boom!